Okay guys, today on Chris Does What, we're going to make this vegetarian pasta, and this stuff is really good. So y'all stay tuned and we'll show you how this works.
He loves it.
Okay guys, so when you're starting your noodles, you fill the pan up with water about yay high so you can submerge the noodles in water. Then she adds salt. What's the salt for, honey?
I do it for flavor.
Flavor.
I don't know if there's any. I've heard it helps it boil. Not really. It doesn't really flavor.
For these noodles, you're going to need a pan for searing your vegetables and stuff, and you'll also need a pan for your, a pot for your noodles. My wife likes to use organic noodles. She doesn't like the what's the other ones called?
Gluten-free.
Gluten-free because they taste like cardboard. So.
And then they break, and I like the organic ones because you don't feel so overstuffed after you eat it. You just feel like you had a meal and not so, because pasta can be really bloating, so the organic doesn't do that. So we use that one.
Beautimous. Okay, so we got the noodles, and right now they're al dente, which means they're kind of chewy. And this is not good if you want to put sauce on because it won't absorb the sauce and things like that. And my wife likes them a little bit more cooked, so we're going to let them sit in this hot water and continue to cook without applying any more heat.
Yeah, we're just going to set it off to the side while we get the other ingredients ready because they're not ready yet.
Yep, and it is chewy, but still
they
good.
won't be after about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, something like that.
But be sure to cook your, if you're wanting to use it in like a saucy product or something like that, be sure to cook them where they're past al dente so they absorb all the goodness that you're shoving in there. Okay, so right now she's going to cut up the onions for this wonderful vegetarian noodle stuff. And how are you going to cut them, babe?
Well, these are small. These are sweet onions. We like sweet onions. This one mainly right here.
Yes, I like it. It's my sugar.
And these are small, so I'm using 4. We like onions around here. It's really a preference thing. I mean, if you don't like a lot of onion, then don't do a lot of onion. But I'm just going to cut them in half. And then I usually just cut the ends off. And get that kind of first layer, because it's always got a tough skin on it too, so.
You don't want to stick that in your noodles. It's yucky.
But it's easier just to cut the ends off and then go ahead and get that layer out. And sometimes they're tough. Okay. Alright, so I cut them. So I cut them in half, and then I cut them where the grain is. You cut it long ways. So I do this, so it turns out to be like that. You can pick it up with your noodle better. Unless, I mean, if you put them in chunks, then you can't pick up your noodle and your onion at the same time.
With your fork, yes.
And they saute up better for noodles. So that's how I do it. And you just, you know, whatever. It's kind of, doesn't have to be perfect.
Okay guys, so we're going to put in turnip greens.
Not yet.
Not yet. We have the onions right here. She's going to put some olive oil. This is what we're going to, what's that crisping thing called? Saute them.
Yeah, we're going to saute some garlic, onions, and then turnip greens with some olive oil, some seasonings, and I'll show you what seasonings I'm going to do. And then we're gonna mix that all in with the pasta. And it's just a really kind of healthy vegetarian quick meal because sometimes I don't always like to buy a lot of meat, so we are garlic people around here, so I'm putting in like, and we're gonna turn that down a bit. But I'm gonna put in like, I don't know, this is probably like 20 cloves of garlic, honestly.
Yeah, and you can dice your garlic fresh, but we like this. It's really simple, and I don't know.
It's just minced up garlic.
Minced garlic, but.
And we go through 2 of those a month.
Wow. And then, of course, your basic seasonings will be cayenne pepper, black pepper, salt, and whatever else she chooses.
I'm just keeping it simple tonight. Sometimes we like to dress up our own pasta with maybe a hot sauce or whatever on the side. So tonight it's just going to be a simple little pasta. So I've kind of gotten these to where they're a little brown, and that's where I want them. So I'm going to put the onions in.
And this was the 4 small onions.
I'm going to turn this up a little bit. I had to turn it down. That oil is really spatting at me. Oh my gosh, it smells so good.
Oh, it does.
Garlic and onion are a very normal thing on an everyday basis around here.
Oh, I love garlic and onion. I could just pour this into a bowl and eat it. That would be good for me.
You would too. I'm just trying to get this a little bit, slightly clear. Kind of an opaque color on the white before I stick in the collard greens. And we really want those to kind of wilt up and saute them up with the rest of the onion.
Okay, so I think we're ready. I think the onions look, what was that?
Well, they kind of have like a clear white to them, you know? They're not browning or anything yet.
They look
They
yummy.
have some liquid to them. But we're going to go ahead and put all of this in there. And hopefully it's not too much, but who cares?
This is just an entire bag of
No, it's a half a bag of collard greens.
collard greens. What size bag was that?
Oh, I don't know, like a 3-pounder.
3-pounder. So we put a
And
pound.
it's going to take a minute, so you kind of just got to let it wilt a little bit. And as it's doing this is where I'm going to season it.
But I don't think you can really substitute onion and garlic for anything else. But if you're not a fan of collard greens, you can do other types of
Broccoli.
yeah.
Meat. You can put meat in this. We're just doing vegetarian. I often do like a turkey sausage or chicken, and then I'm putting more olive oil on top because I like our stuff to have moisture to it. And I'm probably going to put some more on the pasta. We use a lot of this. And then this is just your sea salt. And we'll season it a little bit. And then we'll taste test it, and then we may put more salt in, but we're not going to over salt yet.
And most all this is to taste. There's no exact measurements for making vegetarian or meat type pasta. It's just, you cook it to what you like.
I mean, if you want like some measurements, I guess I can say maybe I put in, but this is for like a 4 or 5 people, 6 people meal, you know. I cook for 4 or 3 grown men in here. And
we're not small.
maybe a teaspoon, and then maybe a teaspoon of that. And then I put cayenne because cayenne pepper, which is a little spicy, so watch out for this. It's really good with collard greens. It's awesome.
It is. I like cayenne on everything, but And collard greens, it's really good.
So we only put a little bit on because he can put more on later. I cannot eat too hot of things. But you see how it's kind of wilting. And the onions are cooking up a little bit more. We're just gonna stir up some seasonings.
Okay, so I went ahead and drained the noodles after they set in that pan for about 10 minutes. And she's gonna put some olive oil on it.
Let me show you. This is the texture of them. They're still holding together, but they're mushing them to absorb any goodness.
Yes, because we want them to absorb all this yummy goodness, especially when this goes in there. It's going to be completely awesome.
And like I said, we don't like dry food. So I usually, if I need some wetness in a food, this is a great way to do that. Okay, and then we're gonna pour this on top of it and we're gonna mix it all up in vegetarian pasta.
And I'm the KitchenAid.
He's great. He's strong. Alright. And I'm just gonna toss this a little bit.
So you want this to, you know, soak up and let it cool down just a hair, because you don't want to eat it like this. It's super hot. And that's it.
Oh yeah, usually what we do, sorry, being noisy, is before we eat it, I'll put the lid over my pasta, let it sit there for about, I don't know, 7 minutes. And what happens is, if you're using a sauce or olive oil or anything like that, it absorbs into the pasta and it just makes it a lot more flavorful and stuff. So that's what I do. Not everybody does that. So
if you like this channel, please subscribe. If you like this video, hit that like button down there. If you want more videos from Danny, be sure to leave comments and stuff down below. Show your love. And y'all, please take care.
bye.